It was about 8.5 years ago when I was finally diagnosed with Parkinson's from a neurologist. I'd actually had symptoms 3 years before that where I would have my hand twitch and would wonder why it would happen. But then the problem was being in your 30s, most doctors don't want to automatically assign and say that you have Parkinson's because under 40 is very, very uncommon to have those issues. So once I was diagnosed, it was sort of a revelation. But then I also realized that, being 40 at the time, that trying to live another 30, 40 years with Parkinson's was going to be very challenging. The neurologist basically said that odds are after 3 years I'd probably become disabled, maybe a maximum of 5 years I'd have to stop work. But again, being a young onset, the path is not always clear. But those first years were very bad. I was gradually declining, and basically I was just taking the pills, figuring that was going to, take care of all my problems. Probably about 3 years in is when I started noticing I would have the facial freezing, had the gait, and such, those things. And then in the last year, since we've been working with the ideas that I've had, basically I can walk through, and most people don't even notice I have Parkinson's on most of the day. I still work, full-time automotive job, 5 days a week. I've had a few accommodations for my desk and things like that, but overall, most people don't walk around me and look at me kind of strange because, I've been able to blend in. As I was starting to take more dopamine was, my mouth would get drier, I'd have trouble with constipation, and I would start doing a lot of reading and found out that the more dopamine you take, the more your kidneys will actually purge your body of the electrolytes, potassium, sodium, magnesium. And so I started taking energy drinks with just electrolytes, and then all those pains went away. And I also found that constipation was relieved. I was sleeping better at night. And over time I've come to find out that just taking a 1-a-day supplement and taking some B12 and CoQ10 are basically enough to perk up the regular systems of my body so that they operate more efficiently. So the way I've tried to explain it to people is that, again, you have to see what part of your body is damaged or not working properly, and then you shore it up, and then you move on to the next topic. One of the things I found is when you have Parkinson's is your digestive system doesn't work as efficiently, and you tend to get what's called a brain fog, where you can't think right, and you have trouble focusing on things. What I've learned over time is that because your system doesn't work as effectively, I drink a lot of sugary drinks, and that because of the instant energy that goes into your brain. And within 5 minutes, I'm back to being focused. So that was a surprise. I think the main purpose of why I wanted to do this is to show people that you cannot rely just on the medication to have a better life. You have to actively take charge and monitor what you do. Again, being hydrated was a huge improvement. I was actually just astounded by how something as simple as taking electrolytes as part of my diet improved the quality of my life, improved my thinking. One of the other interesting things I found towards the end was that I actually was able to, I figured out a supplement that I can take to regain my sense of smell. And that haven't heard of anyone else who's been able to figure out how to do that. And it doesn't stay for very long, but I can actually get my sense of smell back. I think the next phase of my life would be best suited to try and get into some sort of area of Parkinson's research, because again, with my brain being so depleted of natural dopamine, I can try things and see what works, what doesn't work. They also have the engineer's discipline to be able to tell you on a technical term what's happening. So again, a lot of what I've figured out in the last several years, it was very difficult to come to the answer, but once the answer was there, such as dehydration, it's just something as simple as, drinking electrolytes made a huge improvement in my life. And so I think that's where I would like to try and go for the next phase of my life. As far as working, I really don't see any expiration date. I just want to, as long as I feel like this, I can keep going.